Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at Bitmine immersion stock, a company which we are seeing down about 16% in the last week or so. However, interestingly, we have some very good news coming out in the last 7 days regarding this company. For example, we have got ARK Invest, which have bought 15.6 million shares of Ether treasury firm, which is of course Bitmine, which is very impressive. And then we also have Bitmine Immersion reigning as the #1 ETH treasury in the world, and the second largest crypto treasury globally, and the 20th most liquid US stock. This was published just over a week ago. With all of this good news, the question is, where do we go into this next week for this company's stock? And whilst it is of course impossible to say with any degree of certainty, I'll be giving you my personal thoughts and opinions on what I'm looking for into the next couple of days regarding this stock. Now, a few important things to disclose first. We already know that the stock is down quite a bit in the last couple of days, right? 16% plus in the last 5, and on Friday we saw this one falling by a further 4.28%. Whilst I'm not a financial advisor, I'm going to be giving you all of my thoughts over here, so make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Again, it does help a lot. So yeah, falling quite a bit on this stock in the past week or so, and the past month now. The question is very simple, right? Going forwards into the next one too. We are seeing this one falling by 30% or more from highs. The question that I have in my mind is actually very simple, and it is, how likely are we going to be to find a bottom this week, right? That is my simple question. If we can find that, we're in a great position to ask where this goes from there. And I think it's going to be as simple as looking for some very key turnaround points. Now for me, this is going to be mainly about establishing our nearest and closest potential levels of support. I think these levels are going to be right around this point here, right? And I say this because these are the levels that we've historically bounced off of. Now going forwards into the next couple of days, watch out for these levels. I think that they are going to become extremely relevant and quite important into this next week. So, first key level to look out for is going to be somewhere around, we're going to call it 40, right? 43, I should say, 43.50. Now, this is a first level that we could potentially see as a support, somewhere between 44 and 43.50. Anywhere within this historical range is going to be ideal. And even towards the low side of that, we are looking at levels which could take us down to 38.88. Now, obviously judging off of that, if that is of course likely, if that is of course the case, it would present better buying opportunities later down the line, which would mean that Bitmine is a stock to wait on. However, it definitely depends what your opinion on this most recent trend is. You could very much make an argument that the trend is not yet over, in the sense that we are not seeing this one kind of slow down, right? The downwards momentum is still coming. However, you could make an argument as well, with such a massive rise, this is simply people looking to take profits. This is simply the stock trying to establish its own new level, which it will be sitting comfortably at. So to really summarize this one very quickly, guys, I think it's very obvious. I think into this next week, holding above 38 is going to be the level to look for, maybe 37. And I think this is going to be very critical. If we can hold that and obviously potentially reverse from there, it shows a few things. It shows that we're able to remain above our key level of 30 that we have seen before. And of course, it would potentially establish a new base for the stock at the moment. I think for me this week, it really is going to be that simple. That is the main level that I am paying attention to. You guys may agree with that, you may disagree. It's just my personal thoughts. But I think this week is going to be a really interesting one to watch out for. If I was to place my bets personally, I think we're going to see more downside before we see upside. And for me, the way that I like to operate, I don't yet have the levels established until we get back down to these numbers, maybe around 39, 40, 41. Until we hit those levels, the basis hasn't yet established itself for me to be happy to buy here. That's just my thoughts and opinions. You may disagree, but that's just what I think. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you again. Goodbye for now.